Global happenings today. We communicate. We analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello beautiful people, welcome back to our channel. Something is definitely brewing in APC that is definitely shaking the foundations of Osun elections. But let's find out very quickly what is going on, as it looks as if it is no longer democracy but selection that is about to break even. And according to the news, the National Secretary of the All Progressive Congress APC, Senator Ajibola Bashiru, says that the Osun State chapter of the party will back President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's preferred candidate for the Osun governorship election. There are speculations that Governor Ademola Adeleke of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) has Tinubu's backing for the gubernatorial election. Report has it that some aggrieved members of the APC in Osun State had argued that Tinubu's open show of support for the incumbent governor could jeopardize the chances of the party's candidate in the governorship election. However, speaking some few hours ago during an interactive session with the leadership of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, NUJ, Ajibola said Tinubu's decision is final. He said, and I quote, word for word, "Whatever President Tinubu says on issues of Osun stands. We can afford to follow the president blindfoldedly." That's a strong statement. I repeat, he said, we can afford to follow the president blindfoldedly. He takes decisions from the position of wisdom. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu takes decisions from the position of wisdom and the position of what will advance the larger interest of the progressives. Ajibola lauded the present administration, stating that Nigerians, particularly members of the ruling party, have confidence in President Tinubu's policies. Wow, my colleague is in the house. Somebody said something unique. The person said, Tinubu has the final say. The yam and the knife is on his table. Adeleke has made so much enmity for himself that only Tinubu can save him. That's why Davido quickly realized that noise making running mouth on social media and braggadocio on social media is completely different from reality, politics and governance. For a governor to be running around and begging to decamp, the matter don't pass, be careful. My colleague is in the house. What's your take on the fact that a national secretary is saying that they can afford to follow their president blindfoldedly and that Tinubu's decision is final? Whoever he chooses, his preferred candidate, stands. Would you call this democracy, or is it an act of yes sir politics we are looking at here? And is Nigeria safe if he's playing this on Osun State elections? If he's playing this in their party, how are we so sure that this is not going to get to a national level? Just in the fact that just recently Fubara was suspended and nothing, heavens have not fallen.
That's the crisis we're having in our democracy. And I think one of the things Nigerians must take into consideration is that there is no one person that owns the country. No one person is democracy himself. Everyone, it's a game. And being a game, people are allowed to deliberately be involved in the game. And unfortunately, that's not what we are seeing, because these guys just believe that they are the donors of the benefit of Nigeria. And whoever that I decide to pick up and bless, the person will be blessed. They feel that when it comes to politics, they are the gods of politics in Nigeria. So I determine the political destiny of anybody. Nobody can come out from anywhere and, emerge as a godfather. I will have to show you how chronologically you have to grow. And that is what is happening in the country and keeping the country under one-man ideology.
Terrible.
This is not what we bargain for. You had the previous. If people who were before you acted the way you are acting, would you have emerged? Politics is such that when it is time, you take a walk and bow out, another person takes over, because we want to feel the impact of the 230 million Nigerians. Because the beauty of it is that with 230 million Nigerians, we have the opportunity of testing different ideology. That diversity changes things. We talk about diversity, that by virtue of our multiple culture and the number of human capital we have, we will need to have the privilege of enjoying multiple ideology. But unfortunately, in Nigeria, you just realize that politically nothing seems to change. Everybody seems to be running around one ideology, which is either corruption, which is either ethnicity, religious sentiment, following one man, godfatherism. That's just one thing we run around. We've not really said, we've not tested something different. And that's why this upcoming election, people are raging the way they are raging. Why? Because we've noticed for almost 20-something years, it seems as if one set of people are ruling the country and we are not enjoying it again. We want to see somebody who will come and we say, whoa, we've never seen this before. That new ideology, that new philosophy will make Nigerians feel, different.
But this is a new philosophy where the president will select and say everybody should, the election is just formality. I select you. When this is a new ideology,
it's not a new one.
If you want to look at it from the history of Nigeria,
it's not a new one when it comes to APC. APC during the period of this thing when they came on board, when we saw it during that one was very open. They selected you will be what they call it, you will be women leader, you will do this. There was no election, and gradually they are trying to kidnap that system into the national. And unfortunately, it's not just national aspect, their own state. They want a situation whereby they will tell INEC, this is the person that will win the election, and the person will win the election. It is not helping our system as much as we can resist it, because one of the things that makes it troubling for me is that these guys are mere mortal like us. Apart from being mere mortal like us, these guys are just politicians who are in the game. They are meant to be employed by us. Now, if, for example, it happened that he's the one selecting anybody that will win the election come 2020 or 2026 or so, the situation of things will be that when it is time, those people will have to force everybody to vote for him. Or, okay, if you are not ready to vote for him, we know what I would. As much as we Nigerians can correct this, it is high time we fix this country. This country does not belong to the Yoruba. It does not belong to the Hausas. It does not belong to the Igbos. It belongs to Nigerians. And everyone should take his own time to rule. When it is time, get out of the system. We don't need you. Your old brain, has he been able to fix anything in this country? Of course, no.
All right, that's where we're going to wrap it up. Let's meet in our comment section. What's your take? Do you honestly think that this new ideology being introduced to the national politics, though not particularly new in APC, do you think it will help Nigeria, since the National Secretary believe that they can actually afford to follow their leader blindfoldedly, believing in every policy he does? Do you think this is even democratic? Where there's no room for people to exchange ideas, no room to contest free, fair, and probably host a credible election. If he's already endorsing, how are we so sure that INEC will also not endorse? Let's meet in that conversation with Sate.